Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive?
Always ready.
Well, today we're going to be looking at something pretty amazing. It's the life cycle of the European sturgeon.
Yeah, the European sturgeon. These guys are ancient, like dinosaur era ancient.
Seriously. And their life cycle is a real testament to, well, resilience and mystery, honestly.
Right. There's still a lot we don't know about them.
Exactly. And that's partly why we're going to be using a YouTube video transcript today. Lots of visuals, lots of information packed in there.
Perfect for painting a picture for our listeners.
Now, these fish are critically endangered giants, and I mean giants, but they start out so small.
Tiny.
And understanding their journey from like teeny egg to these majestic river giants is crucial for their survival. So let's dive in.
Absolutely. Their story is really important for understanding the health of our rivers and oceans. So where do we begin?
Well, I guess it all starts with those tiny sticky eggs,
Hmm.
nestled in the riverbed gravel.
It's amazing, isn't it? They cling to the riverbed.
Yeah, I mean, clinging on in a fast-flowing river, that can't be easy for a little egg.
Right. But they've got these adaptations that make them super tough. I mean, designed to withstand that current.
Wow, that's incredible. And then they hatch.
Yeah. But they're still vulnerable.
So what happens next?
So the larvae, they hatch with their yolk sacs, right? They need those nutrients, and they basically stay hidden for days, absorbing those nutrients, developing strength, getting ready for the next stage.
It is.
Swimming. They got to learn to swim.
Of course. So are they, like, strong swimmers at this point?
Well, at first they depend on the river current, kind of getting swept along.
So their early life is very much tied to the river.
Totally. It takes them where they need to go.
Okay, so they're drifting along.
Yeah.
What happens next on their journey?
Well, eventually they reach a pretty amazing place, the estuary.
Ah, the estuary,
Mm-hmm.
where the river meets the sea.
Exactly.
Right.
It's this fascinating transition zone where fresh water mixes with salt water.
Sounds like a tough environment.
Oh, it is. But for the sturgeon, it's not just a hangout spot. It's crucial. They have to go through all these changes to adapt to the increasing salinity.
Wait, like their bodies actually change?
Yeah, they have to. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to survive in salt water.
Wow, that's like nature's boot camp, right?
Exactly. And it takes time. They can spend up to 3 years in the estuary, getting bigger, stronger, and basically adjusting to the salt.
So the estuary is not just about feeding, it's about getting ready for the ocean.
Precisely. It's a training ground for the next chapter of their lives.
And what a chapter it is. They head out into the open ocean, and that's where things get really mysterious, right?
Yeah, we know so little about this part of their lives. It's like they vanish.
Yeah, I mean, they're swimming out into this vast expanse of water.
Thousands of miles. Think about it.
And they're getting huge.
Huge. I mean, some European sturgeons can reach 6 meters in length.
Wow, 6 meters.
Yeah, it's hard to even imagine.
And we barely know anything about what they're doing out there in the ocean.
It's tough to study them. I mean, imagine trying to track an individual fish across entire ocean basins.
Yeah, it's a massive undertaking.
It really is. But we have learned some things. Some studies, like tagging studies, have given us clues about their movements.
So what do those studies tell us?
Well, it seems they like to hang out in areas with lots of food, areas that are rich in those bottom-dwelling creatures they like to eat.
Makes sense. They need all that food to grow to those incredible sizes.
Exactly. And they spend a lot of time out there. I mean, we're talking like up to 20 years.
20 years. That's like their entire adult life.
Yeah, pretty much. They're building up those energy reserves, getting ready for something really important.
Right, the return to fresh water to spawn.
The ultimate goal.
And it's incredible, isn't it? I mean, after decades in the ocean, they navigate back to the exact river where they were born.
It's mind-boggling, right? People always say it's instinct, but it's more than that.
There's got to be more to it.
There is. Think about it. It's like they're using all these different senses. Like maybe they can detect the Earth's magnetic field.
Like an internal compass.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe they're using their sense of smell, following scent trails back to their natal river.
Wow.
Right. So instinct is a part of it, but it's like this amazing combination of senses working together.
So they make this incredible journey.
Yeah.
And get this, they don't even stop to eat.
Yeah, they're totally committed to the mission. They're living off those fat reserves they built up in the ocean.
That's wild. They're driven by that ancient need to reproduce.
Exactly. And when they finally reach those spawning grounds, It's time for the grand finale.
The release of millions of eggs,
Yarf.
the famous caviar. And it's all perfectly timed, for the next generation to begin their own incredible journey.
It really is an amazing cycle, a cycle of resilience. And some sturgeon, they make this spawning journey multiple times throughout their lives.
Wait, really? They go back and forth between the ocean and the river?
Yep. And some of these guys can live to be over 100 years old.
Over 100 years old. Wow. Talk about resilience.
I know, it's incredible, isn't it? But as you mentioned before, they're facing a lot of threats right now.
Right, they're critically endangered. And we, as humans, are the biggest threat to their survival.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Hmm.
Habitat loss is a huge problem. We're building dams, polluting their rivers. And then there's overfishing, too.
It's heartbreaking because, they've survived for millions of years.
They have,
Yeah.
but these human-caused threats are really putting a strain on their populations. Those very rivers they depend on for spawning are being altered.
Yeah, and that disrupts their entire life cycle. It's a sobering reminder that even these ancient, resilient creatures are vulnerable to the choices we make.
It really is. So I guess the question for all of us is, what can we do? Knowing about their incredible journey, their struggles, what role can we play in ensuring they have a future? A future where they can continue this amazing cycle for generations to come.
That's a great question, and one we should all be asking ourselves.